conspiracy theories in education. And so you got some very well educated people who are falling to these conspiracy theories, such as QAnon and all these other types of things. So, what I just want your opinion on this. And the person who spends all this time and money and resources going to school, getting a bachelor's, getting a master's, and then they just listen to all this chaos. Just what makes a person go down that road like that? In your opinion?
Yes, this is definitely my opinion. I think that decisions are, whether we want to admit it or not, it's very hard for us to just use facts to make decisions. I would say a good person makes a decision 75% on fact and 25% on emotion. Most people, I would say it's 50-50.
Okay.
And so I think that you're going with what you feel, like I said, almost to the point of the facts that you get. I think that a lot of people are good at doing the research and doing the analytical thinking behind making the correct decision. But I also think you just made the point of you stated chaos, and I think it's easier to believe the chaotic or the more complex answer than it is to believe the simple answer. The simple answer being, JFK was shot by Lee Harvey Oswald and not the CIA, the mafia, or I guess there has been a theory about the Russians out there somewhere. So it's hard to believe, like, what was his reasoning? Well, you could see that the CIA had a reason, you could see that the mob had a reason, you could even see that the USSR had a reason, but what was this guy's reason? I think it's easier to believe when you really, because as people, that's what we do. I also think that there's something called confirmation bias, and I teach this in my class, where it's really hard to change your opinion on something, because again, you have your belief system and your value system, and it's hard to believe something that goes against that. Even if the facts are presented, you have to really, really, really want to believe it. I also think the media plays a huge part in it, Ja. I really do. I think that they really want to stir the pot so that they can keep stirring the pot and keep making money. I think industry
ratings, making money.
Exactly. And I think industries do it as well. When I was looking at this question that you had posed a couple days ago when I was doing my research, I was thinking about the fact that, like, Shell or BP, we'll use BP, they, have had huge oil spills, but yet the commercials that they put up are all about how they are using all of these new technologies to make the environment better. And so if all you see is those commercials, it really does kind of infiltrate how you think about the corporation. Well, they're not that bad. I mean, they're using wind turbines in some places, right? And so I think that really has a lot to do with it. Also, I think that you tend to gravitate to people who believe the same thing as you, right? So if you hang out with only like-minded people, they're going to reinforce that idea that, yes, vaccines are bad. Yes, the moon landing never happened. Whatever it is that you believe. I will never forget my first year teaching. I taught at the juvenile detention center. And the security guards that were in there, they would sit in the classroom with me, and so one of them truly believed that the moon landing never happened and would bring in all of this information to show me, because he just really wanted me to believe this. And it was
I've had plenty of conversations with people about that, and they're like, well, it's fake because you can't see the star field. And I was like, well, you can't see stars during the middle of the daytime when you're in the light side of the moon. And they're like, oh, well, yeah, it's like, come on, you got to do better than that. That's a different episode for a different time. We could talk about that.
But, I mean, you think about it, and and here I am, a first-year teacher, trying to debate this guy in the middle of a class with
Right.
so. I think it's really important, and I do teach my kiddos this, and I try to practice what I preach. Honestly, I think it's important to get your news from different sources. I am not a fan of Fox News. I will be the first to say that. But guess what? I do watch it on occasion because I want to know what the other side is thinking. I get a lot of my news from Al Jazeera. I get a lot of my news from BBC.
Right.
So, I do really try to diversify how and where I get my news. It doesn't always happen. Because like everybody else, I want my ideas reinforced. I want to believe that what I think is right. So, yeah.
I find that all the news is a bit biased towards one set of listeners or viewers or another. Hopefully somewhere in the middle, after you take it all in, there's the truth.
Yes, I agree.